Ives, look at you jump. Kind of jumpy person.
I'm going to get the light from the tree.
Welcome back to a bit of Ives is going to get the light from the tree.
It's going to make me more powerful.
Delicious light. Drink it up. What is it?
It's Bash.
Is that like Dash, but better?
Sort of. It's basically you can...
Is it just Dash spelled wrong?
Sort of. It's you can jump off these little lantern
Show
things.
me. Show me the thing.
Of course, I can't get that high yet.
That was terrible. Oh, it's like that. Can you jump off of the, like the... I can't words, man. Projectiles from enemies with that?
Yep.
Just like in the first game?
Oh, fuck.
Wow, you're not doing well.
It's a lot harder to judge things when you're this far from the screen.
Yeah, when you're playing up close against the computer monitor, it's super easy to see everything. But we're far away on the couch. Do you remember the last time we recorded any of Ori? How long ago it was?
It was probably about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, maybe?
No, it's got to be more than that. Let me look it up. This is a new session. We haven't actually played this game in months. For those of you at home who are curious.
This is one of my favorite
All the none of you.
newish games. I mean, it came out last year, so it's still technically new, but and it's probably the first Metroidvania I've played because
Really? Ever?
Yeah, we were talking about you got me Metroid Dread for my birthday, which passed, and
The game was lots of fun.
I've never played any of the original Metroids. I watch people play them, but I never played them myself, so
You watched me play a Metroid.
yeah, that's what I mean. But yeah, I can't think of a game in that genre that I've played before Ori anyway. The only reason I got attracted to Ori is because there
You're
was
attracted
someone...
to Ori.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Ives is furry confirmed.
Yep. What animal is he though? He's like
an
a tree
Ori.
spirit.
Or she's an Ori. Or it's an Ori.
I can't get up there yet because
Yeah, you can. You're just not trying hard enough.
All right.
You were really attracted to Ori because of how beautiful it is,
Yes.
how fun it is to play,
And they made the world really vibrant and like alive.
saturated with beautiful colors.
Yep. It reminds me a lot of Rayman,
Yeah.
the original Rayman,
Yep.
and how colorful it is.
And that game's also like really fluid too, to like move around the world. Oh, danger. This is like Celeste.
Yep.
Playing Celeste a little while ago.
Yep.
Careful. Oh. What'd you get? What is it? Is it money?
It's spirit energy, which I use to upgrade my shiz.
So money.
Now in this game, I don't know if we talked about this last time, but in this game,
Probably did. We always forget what we
you know,
say.
you can't save wherever you are, but you can heal as long as you have time to pull that off. Fucking
Wow, those things are strong. They take lots of damage.
yep.
So that's a heal.
Yep.
You use your blue energy to give yourself green energy.
Yes. So it's basically a trade-off system. But
Bumch.
it's a little harder to pull off because it takes a while. Whereas in the first game, when you did the save, it was almost instantaneous.
You still have to hold the button down, right? That's the same function, yeah?
Yeah, you had to hold it for like a second. So the spirit energy is what lets me, if I do select,
When do you unlock Crash Bandicoot as a playable character?
yeah. I don't know, but it lets me buy like this shiz, which I can swap in and out, which is different from the first game also. The first game, it was just like a passive skill up tree.
This is like Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
Let's play
Is it?
Hollow Knight.
We may. Now that I'm into these games, you may,
Did you think Metroid Dread was hard?
you know, getting used to it the first time around, because I'd never played any of the Metroid games, I had to learn some of the mechanics, but once I did, it felt pretty fluid. The boss fights just felt like an endurance challenge, because you had to sit there and... Oops. I don't know what to
You
do.
just had to keep your bar of health bigger than their bar of health.
Right. And like, especially on hard mode, which I played right after I finished on normal,
Badass over here.
you take way more damage from hits from them than you do to the bosses.
Yeah,
so.
I think that's the only change is that you just take more damage. Like the bosses, like the patterns are exactly the same, and they it felt like they take the same amount of damage to end the fight, I guess.
Yeah.
But when you got hit, it hit way harder.
Yeah, it decimated your freaking health in like a second.
Like a hit was like 2 or 3 energy tanks.
Yep. And that's the thing. Like, I feel like of all the collectibles in that game, the energy tanks are the most important.
Yeah. Yep.
Because you can get away without the extra rockets, but if you can't take a hit, you're just...
Rockets? What are
screwed.
rockets? Oh, do you mean missiles?
Missiles, sorry.
Ugh. Philistine over here.
Mm-hmm.
Secrets.
Yep. But I did like the way the game played. The one of the things I did have to get used to was the jumping, because it feels like the jumping arc is a little janky when you do a spin jump or whatever they call it.
Oh, when you're doing the screw attack?
Yeah, because you don't jump in a way that you fully control. You jump in like a specific arc shape.
Yeah, it's a somersault.
Yeah.
But it's a semicircle. You're right. It is like an arc.
If you try to adjust it back the direction you're jumping from, it goes back exactly the same way instead of like just kind of a
what
slight...
the fuck?
It's Korok, the giant frog stone.
That thing's
demigod.
fucking cool.
Yep.
What are you doing in my swamp?
You notice certain parallels between this guy and Jabba the Hutt?
Yes, I do.
I'm wondering if that
Well,
was
I've
intentional.
said that about every single voiced character in this game.
Yeah.
Like they all have that Hutt talk. The what are you talking about? The screw attack jump is very much of like one of the puzzles of figuring out how to play Metroid.
Yeah.
And it's always just jump one way, then back the way you came, and it's always
Well,
vertical left and right.
but my point is, like, in other platformers, like Mario, for example, if you jump, you have the ability to, like, ease off the direction of the jump a
You're
little
not
bit.
playing a Mario game.
I know.
You're playing a Metroid game.
But in Metroid, you're, like, committed to the direction that the jump is taking you in without much control over its,
Yeah.
trajectory.
Oh, it's those the Kexis
Skeksis.
from what was it? Dark Crystal.
It's actually funny that they made a parallel in Metroid Dread between Ravenbeak and the frickin' Skeksis from Dark Crystal, because I was thinking that when I was playing that game.
I feel like
bird people in space.
if it's a comic book, if it's a movie or a TV show or a video game, and it's got a bird person in it,
Yeah,
that parallel is always going to be drawn.
I know. But I wonder how much of it was intentional, homage versus subconscious.
I think it was all subconscious. I don't think there was like an homage there at all. This guy's super hutty.
Yep.
Is he gonna eat you now?
Maybe. It's Sane or Sign. I don't remember how they pronounce it.
What is it?
Little spirit wisp thing from the forest that helps you with stuff. In the first game, you don't actually attack as Ori. Sane does the little option thing. What do you want to call it? From Gradius is what it reminds me of.
Oh, I thought it was like a wisp of the woods or something.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, but they call them Sanes?
Well, that's its name, specific name. But
This game's confusing.
in the first game, it attacks for you. It shoots out these little like beams of light. In this game, Ori actually attacks with his own abilities.
Yeah, and a light sword.
That's a little different. You can kind of hover in the air for a long ass time.
How close are we to the end now?
About 4%.
What? We've been playing this game for almost a year, Ives.
I know. We actually finished the first one after much difficulty with the freaking jumping puzzles.
Yeah, right.
The water's a hurt duck.
I forgot what these guys are called.
Bad water. Sad water. The mill sits quiet. That is why the waters are so still.
Okay, so the top right is my spirit energy total.
That's your money. Come get that mun, hon. That's dirty water.
Yeah, I can't go.
Didn't you listen to the not lemurs?
I so love having the dash in this game. It makes such a huge difference.
Oh, damn. It's like rolling around in Kakariko Village.
Yep.
Doop-boop-boo, doop-boop-boo, doop-boop-boop-boop.
I'm assuming you're going to play Breath of the Wild 2 as soon as it comes out. Well, Assume is maybe a strong word, but
Yeah, as soon as, that's not gonna.
because your time is very much split.
Like
into-
there are very few games that I play immediately. Like Metroid Dread, of course, I played that like the day it came out because I'm a Metroid boy.
Did you finish it in a sitting, or do you have to do it over multiple
No,
days?
my first playthrough was like around 12 hours
Gotcha.
because I wanted to 100% the game my
Yeah.
first time.
Well, I know how much of a fanboy you are, and like with certain games of that nature, I'll sometimes just play until I'm like passing out.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did with Dread. Like I was super excited for Cyberpunk when that came out, even though like I knew it was going to be a little bit of a shit show, and then it became like a huge shit show.
Right.
But like a game like that is gigantic compared to a game like Metroid, where it's just there's no side quests. You know what I mean? It's just like you're there for one thing and one thing only. Get from the beginning of the game to the end of the game and nothing in between.
Right.
And those things are cute.
You're not a Moki. I can tell.
I do appreciate, and this is something I think we've talked about before, but you know, a lot of modern games, I feel like developers have to like really pad the content to make it much longer experience.
Oh, totally.
Than it needs to be, and in my opinion, a lot of the fun that I get out of playing games is from replaying them, not necessarily like the long trial of the first playthrough.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think that's something that's been lost in modern game culture, is like the concept that you can have fun replaying the same content over and over again, as opposed to just having something that drags out forever and ever and feels like a chore to get through.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the primary things that makes a game fun. Like, is it just fun? Like, period. Is it fun? That's it. Or do you have to do a bunch of bullshit to get to the fun part of the game? If you have to do a bunch of bullshit to get to the fun part of the game is not fun.
Right.
That's why, like I was complaining about before we started recording today. Like, I restarted my play file of like I got back into Cyberpunk just to try and finish it. And if you wanted it to be, that game could be a straight fucking line.
Yeah.
You could go from the beginning of that game, however, like whatever character you make, whatever choices you decide to make, you can go from the very beginning of that game to the end of the game without doing any of the side bullshit at all. And like all the side stuff is, like you said, it's just fluff. It's just padding. And it's the same thing over and over again. Somebody's being attacked. You got to stop them.
Yep. Somebody's
going crazy. You got to. It's like the Spider-Man game that came out. It's like the little kid who lost his balloon, and you got to get his balloon over and over.
Yep.
Who gives a shit? I'm not going to remember any of those characters, or none of that stuff's memorable. None of that stuff's really fun. Like the fun part is like running and gunning. Like they made driving in that game boring.
Yeah.
And that game is fucking huge.
Driving in that game is the equivalent of like walking across Kalimdor in like World of Warcraft or some shit.
Fuck that. You got a Lego in your shoe.
Yeah, like and that's a perfect example of something that I feel like pads the game's length without being a meaningful or satisfying component of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That whole game is padding.
Yeah. But that's the thing too, like I will play the shit out of a game that takes like 10 hours to beat from beginning to end.
Right.
Because I'll just play it over and over again if I enjoy it. Whereas a game like, for example, we've talked about Fallout 4 before, which is a super long game if you try to explore all that shit.
Right.
But like, I just have no desire to revisit it because I'm like, all right, when it's going to take me half a century to run through the entire game, and that's not satisfying.
Because like outside of quick travel, there's no quick way of getting around that game at all. Everything in that game is walking. And if you haven't found the town, you don't have that waypoint to quick travel to it. But on the flip side of that, every single mission in that game is fairly unique.
Yeah.
Every single place you go to in that game is fairly unique. Every place I've gone to in Cyberpunk is just a different copy of the thing I just finished.
Yeah. And it's very samey. It's like rinse repeat kind of mechanic.
Like I can remember specific characters and scenarios in Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Like everything I've done in Cyberpunk so far, with the exception of like a handful of things, has been easily forgettable.
Yeah. That's kind of what turned me off to playing World of Warcraft, since I mentioned a second ago. It was like, eventually the game became more about doing daily quests on a rinse and repeat.
Became a job.
Than following like a storyline and a, you know, a course of development of your character. Can't remember what was worth.
The the appeal of World of Warcraft when it was still fresh and new
Mm-hmm.
was that it was fresh and new.
Yeah.
So like if you started a new character, like the very first time you ever played the game, everything was new and gave you that sense of awe and wonder because you've never experienced it before.
It was like the honeymoon period.
Yes, exactly. It's the honeymoon period. And then you level up that character to, at the max, or you built your stats up and you got all the equipment that you wanted to get. And then you're like, well, I've done all I can with this now and I'm done.
Right.
And then you start a new character that's a different build or a different race. Or maybe you start like you go from Horde to Alliance or the other way around. And you're like, you try and get that honeymoon period back again because you're trying to do something completely new and different.
Yep.
And get that sense of awe and wonder. And it's the same sense of awe and wonder, just on the other side.
That's why I've found myself gravitating more towards story-based linear games now than like open world ones.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, the Grand Theft Autos of the world are just like, all right, do this quest for this guy. Now do the same type of quest for this other guy across town. Like, all right, how many times am I going to do the same fucking thing?
Yeah.
Whereas at least with a story, even if you're doing the same thing, you're opening up more of that story and learning more about the world that you're in as a character.
And that's what I think Fallout 4, despite all of its flaws, nailed.
Yeah.
You can always explore a different spot of that game and find something out that you didn't know about before.
Yeah.
Like
That's true.
what was this this shelter all about? What was the experiment going on down here? Or what was this military base working on? Or there was always something different regardless of where you were in the game. Ow.
Fuck.
Uh-oh.
God damn it.
That plant is mean.
I died.
He almost fell in the purple trank.
Yeah, it's really, really hard to judge things from this distance. Come on.
From a distance.
That being said, I definitely really liked The Outer Worlds because I felt like it was a Fallout
yeah.
Light type of game.
The characters were so much more fun than the characters in Fallout 4.
Yeah, it hit all the notes of Fallout 4 without being as fucking much of a drudge to get through.
Thank you for reminding me about the Outer, because I forgot I was playing that.
Really?
I did, because I went back into Cyberpunk because I just want to finish this game to get it over with, so I know like what my character's story is all about and what their ending is all about.
Right.
But then I forgot, like, oh yeah, I was playing Outer Worlds and I was really enjoying it.
Yeah. Do you remember how far you got in that game?
No, I don't remember. Still very early into that game. Probably got to like the 3rd or 4th planet or whatever.
Okay.
Like that's a game you can really enjoy at your own pace.
Yeah. I do like that one of the systems that they include in the Outer Worlds that I really liked is the tinkering, which lets you upgrade weapons that you really, really enjoy using to keep them relevant damage-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel like in a lot of other games like Fallout 4, you find a really good weapon at the beginning of the game, and then by like the 3rd or 4th mission, you're like, all right, this weapon is obsolete. It just doesn't do enough
It's not
damage.
just obsolete, but like it is useless. It does nothing.
So a system that allows you to keep weapons, relevant as you progress is definitely appreciated.
That's top notch. Then you can have like, it becomes your own personal epic weapon.
Yep.
I really like that. Oh,
Big sleepy bear.
It's dangerous. Don't poke the bear eyes. This game's adorable. Hey, it's that guy.
Yep.
Oh,
they're
hello.
Milky. That's what they're called.
Are you going to the cold place?
Yeah, I totally talked through all the reveals of like the town, the characters in the town. We were like discussing.
Yeah, I have no idea what's happening.
So basically, there's a town of Moki and other creatures that are trying to restore the woods to their previous glory, and they need your help. So you have to go around collecting things to make that
Fucking
happen.
typical.
We're not going to do it ourselves. We'll depend on Ori. He'll do it for us.
Yep.
Gonna go back to eating apples and moss.
How did you know? Look, it's a big old water wheel.
It's cool.
We remember this place. Water from the luma pools flows through here, being the marsh of life.
Excuse me.
Or it used to flow before the decay, where the mill stopped. I will say that even though the water is, highly toxic to Ori, it looks very delicious to me.
Yeah, it's purple drink.
Yeah.
Looks great.
Are you a
Come
big
on,
fan of
my
like
mouth.
grape juice or grape soda? I don't remember. If we
Grape
talked
juice,
about this.
definitely. Grape soda, yes.
Okay.
Orange soda, also good. But I really don't drink them all that often because
I think the first time I had it,
I'm an adult.
to be honest, was probably preparing for communion. They gave it to us instead of wine to like.
Really?
I think so.
When I was a kid, they just gave us sips of wine. They didn't care.
Okay. Maybe mine was like less tolerant of.
I mean, it's
Adolescent
a sip
drunkenness.
of wine.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know? Whatever. We'll talk more about communion on the next episode.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, boy.
I'm getting drunk at church.